Right on, everybody. Let's get into this first story. Possibly one of the biggest stories of our generation. Joe Biden says he has cancer thanks to the oil industry. And then I love how they add this. But White House points to skin cancer years ago. Okay, hold on there a minute. Joe Biden said he had cancer.
I mean,
the remark initially appeared to be a stunningly casual health announcement during a speech about global warming in which the president described emissions from oil refineries near his childhood home in Claymont, Delaware. Quote, "That's why I and so damn many other people I grew up with have cancer, and why for the longest time Delaware had the highest cancer rate in the nation." White House spokesman Andrew Bates referred the Post to a tweet from Washington Post columnist Glenn Kessler, who noted that Biden had non-melanoma skin cancers removed before he took office. I don't buy it. Look, I get it. Joe Biden's brain ain't all with it, and maybe he just gaffed. But to have this, like, the spokesman pointed to a journalist who pointed to a claim.
Yeah, I don't understand why he couldn't just say himself, like, this is what happened to the president if they really did remove the melanomas or whatever. Like, why do you have to refer to the Washington Post? You are the original source for this.
He didn't have his note cards.
Yeah. Oh, okay.
That's right.
Yeah.
That's an important part.
Yeah. He didn't know what to say. Now, look. Joe Biden gaffes all the time. So I'm not going to sit here and be like, this is the one time he wasn't gaffing. Like, no, literally everything out of his mouth is probably gibberish nonsense. So I don't know what this means, but there's two kinds of gaffes. There's the accidental blurting of the truth gaff, and then there's the churning on a Shabbat of pressure gaff.
Yeah.
Which one is this?
This has got to be the truth. You don't accidentally tell people you have cancer. Anyone. I've never met anyone. I mean, I don't know people that are suffering from dementia and Alzheimer's. I don't know a lot of them, and maybe they say things like that.
Yeah.
If they had it, they still think they have it. But then if that's an indication of his Alzheimer's or dementia, that's another problem altogether.
Bad too, yeah.
It's one or the other. Either he's being honest or he's blatantly lying to people for sympathy, which I don't think is the cause.
Well, and it's a problem that it's present tense, right? He's not saying I had cancer. He's saying I have it. So that's sort of a strange thing to not take an immediate strong response from.
I think he slipped out the truth. Maybe.
So.
Let me play this clip. I think let me see if it'll play properly. There we go. Okay, does it make me go to Twitter? All right.
And because
Oh, here we go. I always have the wrong button clicked.
Nice aviators, Joe.
Nice aviators.
4-lane highway that was accessible, my mother drove us, and rather than us be able to walk. And guess what? The first frost, you know what was happening. You had to put on your windshield wipers to get literally the oil slick off the window. That's why I and so damn many other people I grew up have cancer. And why can't, for the longest time, Delaware had the highest cancer rate in the nation.
So, you know what makes me think it's possibly him spreading out the truth is his indignation. Like his anger. Mm-hmm. You know, like if it was something he had a long time ago, if he got cancer he's talking about when he was young. What, he got skin melanomas 70 years after he left? You know what I mean? So it sounds to me more like this might be he's just his brain fog, and then he just says it without... Look, I mean, if he had cancer, it could explain a whole lot. It could explain literally why he gaffes so much.
Yeah.
Well, I mean, I think the thing that's crazy about nowadays is you would have never thought 10, 15, 20 years ago that we would have information this readily available and they would still be able to twist it and change the narrative of what it is. You know, this isn't something that's heard second or third party. This is literally broadcast nationally, internationally at the time, and then instantaneously we just say it's something different.
Let's think about how crazy it is if the story is he doesn't have cancer. The president accidentally told the world he has cancer?
Yikes.
Yeah. Okay. Either his brain is so broken he accidentally told the world he has cancer, or the dude has cancer.
Or what if he has cancer and he dies in the next year or two?
No, it's okay, because then we get President Kamala.
But you get that. But I'm saying at that point in time, like, how do you not let the autopsy report go? I mean, it's the President of the United States. You're not going to release that. And so then you either lie about how he died, or it comes out that you covered up that he really did have cancer.
Brain cancer.
And now you're sitting down here and was like, hold on. Well, you knew he had it and you lied that he had it. And now just, again, the public trust just continues to erode and fall farther and farther.
We have a very important quote here from anarchist author Michael Malice.
Oh, good.
Who said, "Don't worry about Joe Biden having cancer. He is married to a doctor." Referring to the fact that First Lady Jill Biden uses the honorific doctor to note her 2007 doctorate in education.
I love it.
I don't know, but I'm pretty sure the education thing she has isn't it's not the same thing as a PhD or whatever.
I don't know what
it's
it
something
is.
else.
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't know what it is.
And I wanted to say, I worked with old people for the first 10 years of my career. And as you get older, you still can grasp some of these concepts, but you lose your filter and it just comes out. You just blurt it out. And that's, I liked it because I got to actually know people because there was no there's no pitter patter. They're not trying to pretend there's something they're not. They'll just tell you exactly what they think right up front. I think that's what he's doing here.
It's still crazy to me though that the stuff that he gets a pass for. Like I remember, when President Bush, the son, was in office, and he wasn't a great orator. How many people just decimated him when he had a flub here or there? And some of the stuff that Trump said, how many people ridiculed him for that? But Biden can just say the most off the wall, outlandish stuff on planet Earth, and it just gets swept on the rug.
I'll say though, now Dana Carvey's making fun of him on Kimmel. Did you see it?
Trevor Noah, yeah.
He did Trevor Noah did too. They're finally making fun of the way Biden talks. His weird man getting real quiet and then getting real loud. I mean, you should watch the Dana Carvey skit. Maybe we could talk about it on the after show or go into it more, or even on this show if it comes up again. But that's kind of like the tide has turned. People are like, okay, we got what we needed out of them now.
But the successor in the wings is no better.
Yeah, I was going to say, for a long time, the White House refused to put out his, they kept saying he was going to have his annual health exam. Well, it was delayed, something's going on, and it went on for such a long time. To a certain point, it just seemed like they wanted us to stop asking about it. And the other thing that's so strange about his presidency is how much time he spends at his home in Delaware. I mean, they don't release the visitor logs for that, so we just don't know what goes on there. I mean, it's total conspiracy for me to say this, but if he is being treated for something, that's an easy place for him to receive care in the privacy of his own home.
Good point.
Yeah.
Yes,
He's
true.
been retreating quite a bit.
I mean, I think it was something like over 50% of the weekends that he was president during his first year, he wasn't at the Oval Office. He wasn't at the White House. I think the majority of them were spent in Delaware at one of his two residences.
Well, where were they doing I know they did a bunch of the mock-ups of the fake Oval Office when he was getting his shots and stuff. Where were those at?
I don't know.
I heard they were across the street in a studio.
Which is
across
even
the street.
weirder.
Yeah.
Yeah.
What?
But I couldn't confirm that. I don't know where it was. I keep thinking about FDR, Franklin Delano Roosevelt, who had polio, and he was became crippling paralysis started to affect him while he was in office. Yeah. But he just lied to everyone, didn't announce it,
and he put the front panel on the desk at the Oval Office. That's why it's there to hide his wheelchair.
I got a picture of him holding on to a metal railing while he's smiling, and people didn't know. They didn't because I guess the theory was we're at war. We don't want to freak out the public. We want to project strength.
Which is like the thing y'all were talking about on the show the other day about how AOC getting power, but she wants to do good to get there, right? Well, that's the slippery slope that comes with that. You can absolutely justify why he lied about polio, right? It's a betterment for the country. We don't want to seem weak, the whole 9 yards. But at the same time, you just justified lying to the people about the realities that they're facing, and it's a bad slope to go down.
What do we do? I'm just
Panic?
We're facing two scenarios. The president is so demented, he accidentally told the world he had cancer. Now, the enemies of the United States, they're not sitting there going but does he have cancer? They're going either way, this dude is
Doesn't
weak.
matter. Yeah.
And now's our opportunity to destroy this country.
Do you think the cancer quote has any effect on that at all? I mean, everybody looked at him like that,
right,
as he is. I mean, he shook hands with the air.
It's twice.
A couple times.
Yeah. Twice he did. Yeah, I wonder if maybe this is actually 4D chess from Joe Biden. Make your enemies think you're weak when you're strong.
Oh,
yeah, he read Sun Tzu, The Art of War.
That's why he fell down off the bike too.
That's right.
Okay.
Yeah. Oh,
It's a big ruse. Okay. He shows up to these meetings and Putin's like, the weak Biden. And then Biden goes, listen here, champ.
He's like,
I'm going to
wait.
tell you exactly what's going on. And Putin's like, oh no, Biden is strong.
When do you think he would announce that he's not running for re-election?
Soon, because they need to start getting ready for the Democratic primaries if that's the case.
Right.
Yeah.
When do the primaries start getting announced?
Next year.
Okay.
But usually, even right now with Trump, the conversation starting to pop up of who is it going to be. Mm-hmm. We're starting to hear the same conversations on the Democrat side.
Yeah, Hillary Clinton announced that, or I don't know if it was official, but said that she was going to run against Trump. Was her so that Trump didn't?
She didn't say that.
Well, this is what I read on Twitter. I don't know if it's all confirmed. I didn't hear it out of her mouth either.
I thought they were looking at old
Newsom.
Yeah,
Yeah,
which is
Newsom.
nuts to me. It's nuts to me. How he didn't lose the recall is still I don't grasp that concept at all. But as bad as California is doing, everybody leaves. Why would that be your guy? Just because it's a big state?
You know,
And he looks pretty.
People are in a cult.
He does look.
You think
I
he
don't
looks
even
pretty?
know. He looks like
No.
American Psycho.
I think he looks.
Like
dude.
Ken. He
I
does.
feel like
Yeah,
it's-
he totally does.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I think it's
100%.
like to contrast him with Biden. He's young. He has a young family. Like he looks healthy. I'm not saying I'm for a Newsom run at all.
I mean, you
but
just said he was attractive 2 minutes ago. You said
Confirmed.
that. Yeah.
He's tall, so he's got that over Buttigieg.
Yeah,
Is it Buttigieg? Is that how you pronounce it?
Buttigieg.
Boot edge.
Buttigieg, who I don't hate. You know, I don't really hate these people, but like Buttigieg. Sorry, buddy, whatever you say it. He's smaller. He's like 5'9". I don't know how tall he is, but he looks little.
Yeah.
And so they want people like towering presence. So I think Newsom has that going for him, but Biden has the towering height, you know, as well.
It's nuts, man. I don't see how. I think that the biggest thing that continuously shocks me about the country is that, you know, you have these people that are in office, especially in Congress, for literally decades, and they just keep getting reelected. Everybody knows they're not worth 2 cents, and we keep catching them. Like, you know, Gavin, when he was, how many times was he in restaurants
French Laundry,
when
baby.
when it was shut down and he had his mask off? But then he just, I slipped. I was taking photos, and people just forgive it and just go on. I don't understand how that happens.
This is a great moral conversation because, like, should leadership lie to its subordinates? That's the question. Like in the military, if they know they're going into like a suicide or a mission where it's probably not going to be very good, do they tell the troops that ahead of time, or are they like, here's the mission?
You know, in my experience, you know, if you're about ready to go down a bad road, like we know it's a bad road. You know that you're gonna get hit. You know, if you're gonna run down IED Alley, you know you're going down IED Alley. I'm sure there's probably at some point in time, we used to joke about it when I was in, like, are they sending us on, because I had to go to the Iranian border twice because I did convoy escort, and we're like, okay, is this how we're going to start the war with Iran? They're going to send us out there as a sacrificial lambs to get blown up, and then we'll come back and we're going to be stopped. So we would joke about that, but generally speaking, my experience has been like, if you knew you were about ready to get into it, even though the greatest oxymoron is military intelligence, they at least try to tell you, like, hey, like, this is going to be for real.
But with the president telling the American citizens, like, hey, here's some strategy, that will get leaked to the other humans around the earth. Like your commander telling your platoon something,
Yeah.
The platoon's not going to go tell the Iraqi soldiers what's happening. So it's secure.
Well, I mean, they even take it a different step further. I mean, a lot of times if something like that is going to go down, I'll even give you another example of that isn't necessarily like OPSEC, but like if a service member got killed, they would actually shut down like the internet lines and everything there, so you couldn't tell family back home until the military had a time to tell the family back home. You know, so they have constraints on stuff along those lines. And again, like back in World War II, loose lips sink ships, like that was a big thing. But when you look at this type stuff, like whether or not he should tell the world he has cancer, right? I think he should. You should know who's coming in next. You should know what's going on there, right? And cancer isn't necessarily a death sentence, but at least we can understand why you're shaking hands with a glove laying in the corner.
I want to jump to this story. It's the same story from Fox News, but to make a different point. Thanks for checking out this clip from Timcast IRL. Come hang out live Monday through Friday at 8 p.m. Eastern Time. Super Chat. We'll even answer some of your questions. If you want to check out the After Hours Censored Show, go to timcast.com and become a member. We put those up Monday through Thursday at 11 p.m. They're very funny, not very family friendly. We'll love to see you there. Thanks for hanging out, and we'll see you all next time.